Metal Up World, this is CJ with CJOrtiz.com and metalmotivation.com. This is the first of a new 5-message series I'm doing entitled Working Out Your Life. Now, this is being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program. You can learn more about that if you visit the link below. Working Out Your Life. The entire premise of this series is as simple as this. Working out our life comes down to this. We work out what we work in. What we develop in ourselves in terms of our talents, in terms of our interests, and taking heed of our circumstances is what will propel us forward into absolute life direction. And there's a lot of people looking for direction in life. For all of the technology that we have, for all of the resources that we have, for all of the wisdom and knowledge that we have, yet people are still starved to know their purpose. For all of the books that are available, yet people are still starving to know what they should do with their life. How could they be? How could they be so confused? How could they be so neutralized as to not be moving forward? And yet then they consult motivational resources, and what do they hear? You've got to be goal-oriented in life. You've got to achieve your goals. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. You've got to succeed. You've got to achieve. Well, I believe you should achieve, and I believe you should have goals. I think all of those things are important, and they are all great aspects to have for anybody who doesn't want to live in neutral, anybody who wants to maximize their life. But I think, however, there's some error in a lot of what's purported today as motivational teaching. And that's what I'm covering this week in Working Out Your Life. Let's work out your life. Let's not wait around for life to work itself out. You need to work out your life. You need to determine what is the primary thing or things that you need to be focused on. Working out your life. You know, a lot of people ask the question, what am I supposed to do with my life? Have you asked that question yourself? Have you wondered, and you don't have to necessarily be a young person to be asking that question. There are still people who are even my age asking that very question. They might be, divorced or had to change jobs or got laid off out of a job they've had for years, and now they're asking themselves, what am I supposed to do with my life? Maybe you've come out of some very trying circumstances and you're asking yourself that question. What am I supposed to do with my life? I prefer when anybody asks me that, when I'm coaching someone individually, I like to ask a different question. I want them to ask, what direction I hope you hear me, what direction is best for me in light of my talents, in light of my interests, and in light of my circumstances? Instead of asking, what am I supposed to do with my life? Ask yourself this, what direction is best for me in light of my talents, in light of my interests, and in light of my circumstances? And by the time we get through this series, those 3 words, talents, interests, and circumstances, are going to be the key triad that you use to determine everything that you focus on. To know what you should be including in your life right now, to know the overall direction of your life, to know how to understand and discern the season of life that you're in now. Oh yeah, you are in a season right now. Isn't that the way life is? Nature is that way, right? Spring, summer, winter, fall, seasons change. Well, seasons change in your own life. Seasons will change. There was a season when you were young, right? Before you became a teenager. But when you became a teenager and hormones and everything shifted, didn't it launch a different season? And didn't you have that season when you had that boyfriend or first girlfriend, that first long-term relationship? Wasn't college, maybe if you went, a season? Isn't marriage a season? Having kids a season, etc.? Getting older, middle age, seasons? But even in the midst of all of those high points, there are a multiplicity of seasons in life. And you have to be able to have some way to make the best decision of what you do with your time and what you focus on during those seasons. And that's what this is all about in this series on working out your life. So the better question than saying, what am I supposed to do? Well, are you supposed to do something? Doesn't that imply some sort of predestination? That like there's something that has already been planned out and you're supposed to discover what this is, discover your destiny or discover the purpose for your life, whatever? No, ask yourself the question this way. What direction is best for me in light of my talents, in light of my interest, in light of my circumstances? Like I said, that triad, talents, interests, and circumstances, is going to be paramount by the time we're done with this series. See, a lot of motivational gurus are going to focus on being goal-oriented. What are your goals? Write down your goals. Set your goals. I believe in goals, okay? So I'm qualifying this. But I would argue that it is much better to focus on the journey or the process than it is to focus on the goal. See, some goals take a long time to reach. And sometimes on the way to those goals, if you're focused more on the process, you might have new doors of opportunity, new directions that open up. You say, you know what, I know I set out for this goal originally, but the way things have developed, I think I'm going to go this way. You need that flexibility when you're working out your life. And again, this is going to become more clear as we proceed. Focusing on the process. If you do that, you are always going to be comparing the progress that you make in relation to, again, your talents, your interests, and your circumstances. That can lead, as I said, to new directions, new opportunities that you may have never considered before if you're only focused on that goal, okay? So what I would say is when it comes to your life, it is better to have a direction than it is a goal. I'm going to say that again. When it comes to your life, it is better to have a direction than it is a goal. A direction that you're heading. You know, we like to make things very specific, and sometimes that's really helpful. But when we talk about long-term goals, when you get too specific, then you can miss opportunities that may take you in another direction, which are better for you. But if you're focused on your talents, developing those, if you're focused on your interests, feeding those, and if you keep watch of your circumstances, again, talents, interests, and circumstances. If you focus on those and develop those, your life will more work itself out than you deciding beforehand, I want to go to that place or that goal. Because if you focus on developing you, you may find new things open up, new vantage points, new ways of looking at things that open up new doors of opportunity. Then you need the flexibility to go. You know, some people who have a 5-year plan. I've never had a 5-year plan. Why? Because I'm focused on working life out, developing it as I go. I've got a general direction that I'm heading, but I plan in pencil. I can always erase that and go a different way if that's better for me. Okay, so that's the difference. When it comes to your life, you want a direction, not a goal. It's about the obligation. Life is about this, the obligation that you have to yourself, which is to maximize all that you are and all that you can do. You have an obligation. You have a duty to fulfill in relation to your talents, in relation to your interests. Circumstances, we'll talk more about later, have to do with understanding the seasons of life. Because sometimes you can have talents for something, to do something, interest in it, but you've got a day job that doesn't involve those things, but it's paying your bills and taking care of your kids or whatever. And you're just not in the right season circumstantially to go in the direction of your talents and interests. Well, then what do you do? Well, that's what this series is about. It's understanding seasons of life and understanding and using wisdom to know, based on talents, interests, and circumstances, what you should do at each stage of life. It's actually very, very powerful teaching. It's about the obligation you have to yourself, which is to maximize all that you are and all that you can do. You don't want to wait for life to work itself out. You want to work your life out. You don't just want to choose a goal. You want to set a direction. And you work out your life by developing your abilities in areas of interest that will not jeopardize your present circumstances. Okay? We all love the great risk taker who forsook all, dropped out of school, became a rock star. That's rare. Okay? That's rare. So we want to be able to develop our abilities and interests without jeopardizing our present circumstances. So again, especially in relation to that last one that I just said, you may go in a different direction than you originally thought. But just so long as you understand that the key to working out your life is to work out what you work in. By always working on your talents and abilities, by always working on your skills, by always developing your interest and feeding those passions and desires that you have, and keeping in mind your circumstances, you will steadily be able to work out your life. Instead of just setting some arbitrary goal out there far in the future, you can start to truly work out your life in a way that demonstrates wisdom, it's effective, it's more productive, and you're more satisfied. Why are you more satisfied? Because your progress is based on the development of all that you are and all that you can do. And that's what always brings true and lasting fulfillment. Can you dig that? I hope you can. So all this week, that's what I'm covering in Working Out Your Life. Now, I always show the first episode in each week's series for free. The rest of these are shown in my Life Domination online coaching program. So you'll have to join the program if you'd like to see them more. You might say, well, CJ, that's uncool. I'm sorry, but it's a great coaching program and I'd love to have you be a part of it. It's only $19.97 a month. That's very, very inexpensive. It's 5 videos a week, each week on a single topic, shown in a private Facebook group, which I administrate. So you and I get to interact. But better than that, you're in there with dozens and dozens of other people just like you and just like me. Extremely positive, trying to make a difference in their life, trying to make serious changes. And so we're in there. So all the naysayers and the haters and the critics and the negative, all that's kept out. It's just all of us in a private Facebook group. That's where the videos are shown. We get to ask questions. We get to fire each other up. People share their awesome, stories about the progresses they're making. It's killer, man. You get to see how other people are solving problems. That would be a great inspiration and source of information for you, not just stuff that I'm saying. You'll get a lot from everybody else that's in the group. But here's the bonus. The bonus is you get access instantly to my entire archives of previous video series. Right now, there's over 350 archives in the vault in the Life Domination online coaching program. So you get all that for less than $20 a month. I think that's a good deal. So if you want to find out more, just visit the link below, metalmotivation.com/Life Domination Coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.